Hi, I'm Mel Morgan-Besser.
Hi, my name is Sandy Cohn.
Hello, I'm Ada Deer.
Hello, my name is Sue Milch.
I'm Rosemarie Carbino.
Hi, my name is Barbara Spearer.
My name is Mary Beth Wilk.
This is a special message to Dean Schneck and his family.
Dean was a wonderful friend, a wonderful colleague, a wonderful human being. I cared about him very deeply.
And I have wonderful memories of Dean as a supervisor, a colleague, and later on as a friend.
When you're at the university and your name is Dean, it creates all kinds of interesting little scenarios. So most students thought Dean was the dean. Other people called him Dean when he was in the field director position.
I knew him in, I think it was 1974. I was a new social worker at Dane County Human Services, and I took his, I think it was like a 1 or 2, maybe 2 days class in supervision.
Dean's absolute commitment to social work profession really showed up at CSWE and the field conference portion of that, and he had a huge following nationally.
He was an outstanding professional in his field. When I think of the field program at Madison, and I have just tremendous regard for that program, I think of Dean Schneck and the excellence that he brought to the program and the high standards that he brought to the program.
As I said in the little book we wrote, his public and private values were solid and right on.
The thing that goes along in my mind with thinking about Dean as Dean was seeing him in his office. For the many of us who saw Dean in his office, he had a very neat office, way packed with papers, but neatly filed on his desk, and he sat very regally behind that desk. Dean always cut a strong presence.
I do remember what I said at that presentation where I first met him, and I remember comparing the relationship between the community and the School of Social Work to a couple that was staying married for the sake of the kids. The kids were the students. So, and I remember we talked about that later.
Dean was the most accommodating, warm, helpful, supportive, every good thing that you can think of. I cherished him as a colleague.
He taught all of us many professional skills. I can remember that one of them in particular was giving feedback and receiving feedback. Dean expected that we give direct feedback and that we be able to receive it, and he modeled that for us and taught us that very well.
A couple things about Dean. I was a student at UW in 1982, and one thing I learned from Dean is that whenever you can say something positive, you might as well say it, be positive about it.
Another thing I remember about Dean is I never saw him eat lunch. I was there with him for 25 years, and darned if he never ate lunch one time. So I hope wherever he is now that he's having a good lunch.
I want to tell you that I'm very, very sorry that we lost him. He was wonderful.
I worked with Dean for many, many years, and I always admired him.
Dean was, as everyone will say, an amazing guy to have around. Absolutely certain of the mission of social work, absolutely supportive of field faculty and field students and social work in general.
And you just knew when you talked to him how much he stood for quality and excellence in the program.
And we were all sitting there in anticipation, wondering what could possibly be the subject of so much importance. They made the toast and announced that they were toasting to their grandchild who had just done piddle in the potty for the first time that very day, and that was Dean and Jerry. We laughed so hard together as friends, as only friends can do.
And we will all so miss him, and please know that he will hold a special place in the hearts of so many people.
I just remember he was just very, very supportive, very empowering. We would sit on the couch and talk at the field placement, and he was just always so kind, and there was something about his ease and being so laid back that made that experience so encouraging, and I didn't feel intimidated.
We really remember and appreciate him for who he was and what he left for the school and for social work.
He will be missed at many levels among the faculty, the staff, the students, and the agencies here in Madison, as well as at the national level. A wonderful man, a treasured colleague, a beautiful human being.
He will be missed greatly, both by the profession itself and by his colleagues. Our sympathy is with you, and we wish you the best as possible for the future.
He was a wonderful person, a warm person, a good friend, and I'll miss him.